Hi everyone, this is Jessica D'Amber. So today we are going to be making a sweet Taralli cookie. Now this is just a wonderful little cookie and it's got such an interesting flavor with the oranges and the marsala wine. It just makes it such a fantastic cookie. Now this cookie is actually very easy to make. It might look complicated because you have to shape it into a ring and all that, but it's actually very, very, very easy. So I'm gonna walk you through all of our ingredients and then we'll start baking these little things. All right, so what we need is we got about 2 cups of flour, our salt, our baking powder, a zest of 2 oranges, which I've already zested right here, okay? And then we only need 1 egg, some juice of an orange or just orange juice, whichever is easier, and that we're gonna use later for the icing, so it's gonna be a really good icing. And then we have sugar, and then we have our marsala wine, which is key because it's gonna add a really good flavor, and oil. And I have some extra flour for a little later. I'll show you what that's for. All right, so to get started in your mixer, we just wanna take our sugar. It's just about 1/2 cup of sugar. Put that right in there. And we're gonna take our 1 egg, just 1 egg, and I'm gonna put this on low. You just wanna mix that for a minute. And you guys, I love this recipe because there's no butter. We don't need any butter, so we don't have to worry about bringing any butter to room temperature. But if you're anything like me, I always forget to take my butter out of the refrigerator before baking. And then I remember I have to bring it to room temperature and I'm so impatient. So this makes it easy, everything's ready. All right, so just let that go. I'm actually gonna just scrape my bowl really quick. Make sure all that sugar mixes in really, really well. All right, I'm gonna turn it back on. Okay, next we are gonna add 1/2 cup of olive oil and 1/2 cup of marsala wine, and we're gonna let it go until it's mixed really well. So we just need 1/2 cup of this. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna pour that right on in here. And then we need 1/2 cup of the marsala. And yes, I love cooking with different types of wines, even adding different liqueurs to your cookies, or it's just really good. I've used amaretto before. It's just so good. All right, so we need 1/2 cup of this. I'm gonna put that right in our mixer. And let that go. All right, so you're talking about forgetting to bring things to room temperature. If you forget to bring your eggs to room temperature, a quick little trick is get a warm bowl of water, not hot, just a warm bowl of water, and put your eggs in that water for about 15-20 minutes and they come to room temperature. It's the best little trick I've found because I also forget to take the eggs out of the refrigerator too. Okay, and this marsala wine, it just smells really, really good. Okay, let that go. I usually do this part first, but that's okay. So we're gonna get our flour, and I have some salt. We're gonna put that in, our baking powder, and then we're gonna add, I love the smell of fresh oranges. It smells really, really good. Okay, so put that in, and we're just gonna whisk this together really, really quick. All right, you just wanna get it all blended. Usually I do this step first, kind of get it out of the way, but it's okay. Okay, so that's good. All right, so that looks good. I can show you guys really quick kind of what this is looking like. It's just very liquidy right now because we don't really have anything in it. But if you guys can see in there, so that's just our olive oil, our wine, and then our sugar and our egg. Let me get this thing back on here. Okay. All right, now for the tricky part, we are gonna add our flour and try not to make a mess. Okay, so just add it in slowly. And we wanna add this, and we just want it, again, remember, you don't wanna overmix your flour. Huh, that was pretty good. All right, so let's just go for like just a second. I just wanted to get it mixed, and then we're actually going to take it out of the bowl, and we are going to need it for like a couple of minutes. Put all that over here, make some room. I'm gonna put it up. Okay. All right, so we're gonna take this out of our bowl. And we are gonna scrape it all off of here. Get it, it's very, very, very sticky, guys. And I can show you, again, what it looks like, but it's extremely sticky batter. Because when you're baking these, your house is gonna smell amazing with these flavors. Okay, so I think that's good. All right, so now we're gonna get this out of here. Again, very sticky, and that is why I have a little extra flour ready to go. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour down. Now guys, usually when you're not working with yeast, you don't usually have to knead dough unless you're using yeast. But this one we are going to knead just to form the dough a little bit better and to give it like a medium soft type consistency. Okay, that's good. So put that over here. All right, so when you're working with like a sticky dough, especially when you're kneading, just put a little flour in your hands, not a lot. You don't want too much flour. And when kneading, and this is something that I have learned because working with yeast is not something I used to run towards. I used to actually like skip over the recipes that required yeast or kneading. But what I learned, when you knead, just put your dough, fold it in half, and then use the palm of your hands and push down. And then turn it, fold it in half, use the palm of your hands and push down. So you just keep doing that for as long as the recipe says. Now again, this one doesn't have yeast, so we don't have to do it that long. But a little science lesson for you guys. So what I learned is the reason you knead when you have yeast, when you knead like bread dough, is because there's proteins in there and the proteins form together and then they form gluten, which then gives strength and structure to the dough, which helps to trap the gases, and that's what makes the bread rise. Just a little science lesson. I thought that's interesting. If you guys ever want to learn more about it, you just go right online. And I did read somewhere that most bakers find kneading to be one of the most fun parts of baking. I don't know, I think it's a lot of extra work, but it does make some good breads. Okay, I think we'll just do this for another minute, and then we are going to actually form our little cookies. So this is the part coming up that actually takes a little bit of time, but it's fun to do. So if you have some friends, you can invite them over and have them help you do it. Make it more fun. Okay. And we are going to form these into little rings. Now these cookies, I've read you can make them in all different shapes. Rings is what have become the most popular. And there's no real reason why they're shaped in rings. I think it's just purely traditional. So the Italians have just always done it that way. And they're great around Christmas time because they look like little wreaths. And if you put sprinkles on these, you can put like green sprinkles, and I think they look cute. Okay, so I think that is good. All right, so now we're gonna grab my baking sheet. Nice big baking sheet. I love these big baking sheets. You can fit more cookies on them. All right, so I already have my oven preheated to 375. I always do that first. I line my baking sheet with parchment paper. Now, you're gonna break off little pieces of dough, okay? Not too big. And we're gonna form like 6-inch logs. So we're gonna kind of just guess at the size, okay? And that's actually a little too much dough. You don't want them to be that thick either. And you just want to make little ropes, kinda. And then we are going, come on guys. Okay, and then we're going to just loop it around into little rings. Okay. Just like that. Very simple. And you can make them as big or as little as you want. Sometimes I make mine a little bit bigger. I guarantee mine will be like all different sizes. By the time we are done, they will be different sizes. So guys, we are making a sweet Taralli. They also have, there's 2 types of Taralli. There's sweet and there's savory. The savory are either made with fennel, think a lot of them are made with fennel. They have yeast in them, so they definitely require the kneading. And some of them I think are made with anise. So one of these days I will try that one, because that one is not as sweet as these. It doesn't have the orange flavoring and the marsala in it. And they have more of a, like a breadstick, pretzel type consistency. And they're a little more, I think, crunchier than these. But they're also really, really good. And those you don't have to put any icing on. You just put like a little egg wash on top, and it's a very simple cookie. But these I love because you get to add your sprinkles, your icing, and you can make them really, really festive, so it's fun. Okay, so I am going to keep doing this until I have a whole tray. And I don't even know how many cookies this makes. It probably makes like 100 cookies. So you'll be here a while rolling them and making little rings. But it's totally worth it in the end. All right, so I'm gonna finish rolling them, and then I'm gonna pop them in the oven, 375, and you put them in for about 15 to 20 minutes. You wanna check them, make sure, depending on your oven. And they're gonna be like golden brown. They're not gonna be too brown, so don't over bake them. And when I come back, we are gonna make the icing, and we're gonna sprinkle them, and then we're gonna eat them. All right, see you soon. The cookies are out of the oven. I let them cool for a little bit because we want them to be cool enough so we can actually ice them. And I started my icing. It's a cup of powdered sugar, and I put about a tablespoon of fresh squeezed orange juice into here to give it nice extra sweetness. And we're adding some milk. So I put a tablespoon of milk, and guys, I'm just going to eyeball it. It's a couple tablespoons of milk, but just eyeball it and stir it until it gets to like a nice icing consistency where you can actually dip the cookies. Put that over there. And these cookies, you don't have to ice them if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. I think, you know, the sweet Taralli, it just makes them even better with the icing. The savory ones, you don't usually ice. And I think it's more fun to ice them, right? And then you can decorate them. Okay, so I think this is good. So I'm gonna get all that powdered sugar blended really well. And then I'm gonna put this here. All right, so we're just gonna take one of our little cookies so you guys can see. They're like little, little rings, excuse me. And we're just going to dip them right in here. Just like that. You don't want to kill it with the icing, and just put them on a little baking sheet. I'm just going to do a couple of them. And then we're going to ice them, and we'll do a few of them for you. And just get your sprinkles. Use any color sprinkles you guys want. I like these, and I'm making a mess. Usually I put like a baking sheet under to try to catch the sprinkles, but it's fun. Let them go everywhere. You'll be finding sprinkles months from now. All right, so I'm just gonna do a couple more of them. So guys, I got a new apron for Christmas. I love my aprons because I like to make a huge mess when I bake, and these help because then I can just wipe my hands. I used to bake in just my old sweats, and I used to just wipe my hands on my sweatshirts, and they were old, so it didn't really matter. But this is much better because I get to get a cute apron, and that's fun. So this is my Christmas one. All right, so we'll sprinkle these, and then we're gonna just try them because I am dying to eat these. It is fun to put green, all green sprinkles because then they look like little wreaths, right? Christmas, it's nice. All right, so it's probably still not really completely dry, guys, but we are going to take a quick bite. These are, I'm telling you guys, these are a fantastic little cookie. The marsala wine and the oranges, it's like out of this world. You guys are gonna love them. Your family is going to love them. So definitely give this recipe a try. I'm gonna finish icing these and sprinkling them, and I'm sure my son will come running in because he loves anything with sprinkles. If it has sprinkles, he's gonna stick it in his mouth. All right, so I will see you guys next time. Enjoy baking.